So the objectives are to configure an IP address or configure IP addresses. We're going to be setting up wireless configuration to the network. We'll be configuring IPv6 addresses manually. We'll verify the connectivity and we'll gather device information. So the background scenario, this activity may include many of the skills that you have acquired during your networking essential studies. First, you'll configure the IP addresses on the network devices in a simplified network. Second, you'll set up the wireless configuration in a home network. Finally, you will verify your implementation by testing end-to-end connectivity. So the first thing I like to do is to set it up the way that I see it on the network topology so I can follow along. And we'll just look at the devices that we're going to need. So we'll need one router. We'll go over here to the routers and they're asking for a 1941. We'll grab that, drop that in. We want one switch, a 2960. Switch, 2960. We want one wireless home router. So we'll go back to, I think it's actually network devices. I always get confused of how to do this one. There we go. So wireless devices. And then it's going to be this one right here. We want one laptop with a wireless network card. End devices, laptop. And we want one PC, Windows 10 terminal with emulation programs such as PuTTY. We'll just drag this PC in. And we'll connect our console cables and our straight through cables in a minute. But first, like I said, I'd just like to set this up like I see in the network topology. That there, this here, laptop over here. That's close enough. Okay. So first, we will give a proper straight through cable. Go from home router. We're going to connect to Gigabyte Ethernet 1 to Gigabyte Ethernet 0. We'll go another one from O1. This one should be Gigabyte Ethernet 01. Another one here. We'll do Fast Ethernet 010 to the Fast Ethernet. Okay. So first thing, we will set up our wireless interface on our laptop. We'll turn the power off. Take this, drop it in that yellow box, drag that on in there, turn that back on. Oh, I can't tell if it's on. Okay, that's on. Okay, so now it's trying to reach out. We're looking at the directions. We configure the device name according to the address table. So that's what we're going to do. We'll connect our console cable from PC into the RS-232 port into this router. We'll connect that into the console, and we will click on the PC, go to desktop, terminal, okay. We'll type in no, and we will first, we have to enable, and then we'll do config T, configuration T, and we are going to set up the host name for this. We are in the router. This will be host name. We'll call it R1. Add description to G00 wireless network. So we can go to our IP table, which is right here. I've blacked out the default gateway because that was what was recommended for test day. So that's not going to be there. We'll have to figure that out on our own, which is not too bad. So we will go to int G00, and then we'll do an IP add, and we are adding this R1 right here. So it's going to be IP add 172.51.12.2. We'll put the subnet mask of 255.255.255.252. Okay. We'll say description, add the description to it. This will be to wireless network. Okay. And after we do that, we're going to open up the port by typing no shut. All right, we can see the state has changed to up, so we're successful. Now we'll go to int, which is int is short for interface, and G0/1. And we can scroll up to our topology just to look at that. So that's going to be going to the switch now. And we'll do IP add. Actually, I misspoke. That's actually not going to the switch. So G00 what we had just added was the wireless router, and now we're doing the um, connected router. Yeah, so it's actually this one here. IP add. It's gonna be 172.51.15.1 for our G01 here. Subnet mask of 255, 255, 255, 255.0. Okay, and we'll put our description to this is the wired network. So we'll just say DES, short for description, to wired network. Okay, no errors, we're good. Do once again a no shut to turn that on. Okay, state has changed to up. Go back down. So we have gotten the description. This. So now we're going to create a banner that warns anyone accessing the device that unauthorized access is prohibited. So we could do, okay, we could do exit. I think, actually, I think it'll still work even if you don't exit, but we'll just do exit and then we'll do a, what was it? Banner message of the day. To put for the asterisks, and then they want us to put unauthorized access is prohibited. And we'll close that off with another asterisk, and we should be good with that. Okay, so the next thing, we're going to assign Cisco as the console password and enable login. So to do that, while we're still in config, we'll go 9.0. Okay, now it's changed to configure line, and we'll go password Cisco. Okay, and log in, and then login just basically locks in what we just wanted to do to enable login, and then we'll exit. Okay, so now we're going to assign a class as the encrypted privilege EXEC. Assign class as the encrypted privileged exec mode password. So do that. We'll go back. Actually, we're already there. Label secret class. So enable secret and class being the password. And then we'll do service password. We might be able to tab. Yep, we could tab and fill it in. Service password encryption. And this encrypts all plain text passwords. So now, encrypt all plain text passwords. Did that. Enable IPv6 routing. So we'll do IPv6 or IPv6 unicast dash routing. I spelled that right. Yes. Okay. Going down, we want us to set up the domain, and we're going to enable SSH. So we're going to knock out all of these. We'll do IP, domain, name. I think there's a dash. Cisco.com. Okay, and crypto key generate RSA. And they're going to ask how many bits. They are specifying we want 10, 24. Okay. So now we'll do this step. Create a user with a username admin with a secret pass admin pass. So to do that, we'll do user name, is it username admin secret admin pass, I believe it is. Okay, SSH it's been enabled, so we're good there. We'll specify the version, which is IP SSH version 2. Okay. So we'll do a line VTY 04. And that's going to be for the router line. And we'll do transport input SSH. So this is telling the configuration to only use SSH. Okay. Save the running configuration file to the startup configuration file. We'll do that in a minute. We still got a couple more commands. We'll do login, local. And now we just do Control C, get back. Go back in global config. And we'll do copy, run, start to, like I said, save the running configuration to the startup configuration file. Okay, we just press enter, and we're okay. So now from here, we're going to start messing with the switch to the laptop. Okay, so we can exit this. So going from the switch to the laptop, we're going to run a console cable. We'll once again RS-232. Drop that, put that in the console. We'll do the same thing. Go to desktop, get on the terminal. Okay. And we'll enable on the switch. We'll do config, configure terminal. Alright. And we'll name it host name S1 for switch 1. And we'll do int interface VLAN for the switch. And we'll specify one. We'll do IP add, and let's go back to our chart. So now we'll be doing this IP, which is space 172.51.15.5. Subnet mask 255, 255, 255.0. That's added. We'll do our no shut, open up that port, interface VLAN 1 changed to the state is up now, and we can exit. We'll do, once again for this one, we'll do banner, banner message of the day. We'll write the same thing, which I forgot what it was already. Unauthorized access is prohibited. Let's see. Access is prohibited. We'll end it with our asterisk, let it know that is the message. Alright, so now let's see, what are we doing? I've done all that. Created a banner, assigned Cisco as the console slash VTY password, and enable login. So we're basically doing the same thing that we did for the router, except to the switch this time. So we'll say line con 0 and password Cisco. We'll do login to let it know that's how we want, that's what we want to enable those changes at. Line VTY. Did I do that right? Line VTY 0 to 15. because you have 16, take up to 16 lines on there. Okay, counting zero. So then we'll do password again, Cisco, and log in again because we have swapped to a different, uh, we're doing it for the console and we're setting up the password for the VTY. So that's why we're doing it again. Password Cisco login to enable that. Now we can exit and then we will enable secret class. So remember, it's almost like a two-part command on this one. Enable is actually enabling it. Secret is pretty much encrypting the plain text passwords, and then class, of course, being password. So enable secret class. Uh, and what does it say? Service, yeah, service password, and we can just tab and it should do the encryption. Yep. Service password encryption. Right. So now they're saying we've encrypted all the passwords, we've done all this. We have to now assign a default gateway. So assigning the default gateway, which is going to be this router right here. So if we look 7.2.51.15.1, that's going to be our default gateway. Oh, and we'll do the IP default gateway 172.51.15.1, and I think we're good. I don't think we need to put our subnet masters yet. Oh, I got a syntax error. I spelled default wrong. Okay. User error. Uh, so we got that set. No errors. We can exit. We'll do copy run start once again to save those startup configurations. So now we'll disable all unused ports. So to do that, we'll do interface range. I don't think there's a dash. Not yet. And it might be a little bit easier to see. Uh, put this over. Oh, there we go. Interface range. We can see that we're using FA010. We're using FA0, G0, G01. So all of the ones that we don't want to use will do. So it'll look like F0/1, since we're not using that, to uh, 1 through 9, right? Yeah, because we're using 10. So we'll do a comma, F, F0/11 because we're skipping 10. And then we'll go all the way up to 24. There's 24 ports. And then G, we're using 0 and 01, so G0/2. That's the only interface that we're not using right now. I think that range, interface range. I'm getting a syntax error. Interface. I spelled it right. Zero/1, 9 through 9, comma, F0 to 11 dash 24, comma, 0, range, interface range. I wonder if I'm supposed to do a dash here. Interface. Oh, I think I see what we're in global config, so we need to go back into config T. F0/1 dash 9 to F0/11, skipping 10 to 24, comma, G0/2. We gotta go back into line, v2 line, dash 15. Interface range not validated. Maybe it's because I haven't set up this yet. I'm still learning too, so I'm troubleshooting on the fly. So setting up PC, set the IP address up for that. PCA, should be PCA is 72.51.15.20 subnet mask 255 255.0 for our default gateway, which this bottom right there. Which is R1. 272.51.2. IPv6 address, just down here. 2001 DB8 colon A CED colon C colon 5. And I do a /64 default gateway. They specify it to be FE80 colon A. I think that's it for this. Okay. Do 15 trash interface range F0/1-9, comma F0/11 to 24, comma G0/2. There we go. It took it. I'm not sure if you had to configure that first, but or maybe I was doing something wrong and just didn't realize I was doing something wrong. But either way, it accepted, it took it that time, so we should be closed off on those ports now. So now we will set up our wireless router. We'll click it. We'll go to the GUI. We're going to do internet connection type, set this to static IP. So the internet IP address, we'll go back to our table, IP table, and so the internet IP address is going to be the wireless router. We're on the wireless route, so that's going to be 172.51.12.1. Subnet mask 255, 255, 255, 252. And if we look, what is our default gateway? It should be R1. So R1, I'll put that IP address here. Or actually, not R1, G01, right? G01. The default gateway should be our wired router. Move on. Set to 51, 15.1. Okay, so network setup, this IP address for network, this should be our LAN IP address. So we'll do 10, 10.5.1. Subnet mask is already correct. You can scroll back down, make this thing smaller. So we're going to give us the information. Initial wireless router IP address. Oh, this got messed up. And be careful when you scroll and mess with it. Let's see, 15. Yeah, okay. So initial wireless, I got that right. Subnet mask, see the addressing table, default, see the addressing table. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. DHCP configuration. So that's what we're on. Let's we'll do the maximum users, they say, is 100. 100. Exclude the first 14 usable IP addresses. So if we're starting at 1, we know we can't use 1, and they want to exclude the first 14, so that would put us at 15. Static DNS 1 would be 209, 165, 201, 30. Okay, everything looks correct. We'll put save settings. Uh-oh, IP addresses and gateways are not on the same subnet. Uh, 165, 201, 30. It's 255, 255, 255, 255, 1, 51, 12, 1, default gateway. This thing right here. Try to. Feel like I messed something up. I think I was right. This keeps getting messed up. There we go. It's it. So there's a correction here. Default gateway set 172.51.12.200. Okay, that's right, that's right. So we're thinking now to security, or no, go to wireless. We are going to have 2.4 gigahertz enabled. For both 5 gigahertz, they want it disabled, or disabled, disabled. For save settings. Go to wireless security here. We want this at, they specify right here, WPA2 personal for the security mode on 2.4 gigahertz. So we do that. And we got AES encryption. The passphrase is going to be 123 Cisco. Save settings. Okay. This security. I think that's all we need to do here. Okay. So now we can exit out of this. We'll go back to this. We'll go to PC wireless. We'll go to connect. Actually, we haven't enabled. We haven't made the, that's what I forgot to do. Okay, go back to laptop. No, I'm sorry. Go back to router. So the SSID, that's what we need to set the SSID to Fort Gordon. Fort Gordon. Spell that way. Fort Gordon. Does it specify channel bandwidth? Is it auto? I think something got messed up. Hopefully. Yeah. Yes, window. Add unicast. Let's proper password. We'll go config T. We'll go to our interface G01, which is the wireless router. So interface G01. Then we'll do IPv6 add 2001 colon TB8 ACAD colon 1/64. And we'll do the IPv6 add it's going to be FE80A, 80 colon A, and then we'll do length dash local. Exit and IPv6 unicast dash routing. Okay, exit. We'll do a copy random start. Yep. Copy. Yep. So now let me just double check the configuration because I might have typed in the IPv6 wrong for this computer. Go back to IP configuration and just double check everything, which looks like I did type it in correct. Okay, well, if all of that is done, now you should be able to see the connection. There we go. Fort Gordon. There it is. Connect. Let's connect. Um, the pre-shared key is it 123 Cisco? Uh, do WPA, not WPA2. Let's go back to wireless, wireless security. I did W. You gotta make sure you do WPA2. I accidentally clicked one, and this is messing with me again. AES, save changes, exit. Let's try again. Connect. Connect. Oh, we should be connected, yeah. Cool. All right. So now the last step is to just connect check our pings, make sure everything is pinging and connecting right, which judging by all of my green and my signal, we shouldn't have a problem. PCA to GA1. So this is PCA. And I think my virtual machine just crashed on me, guys. So may have to cut this one short, but basically all we were going to do was go back in the terminal or into the command line, do some ping commands to each IP address, verify that they're working, and we would do our SSH into the router, which the password was admin pass as we set up, and that was pretty much it, guys. So uh, let me know if you got any questions, comments, concerns. Let me know what you think. Hope this helped, and peace till next time.